Breathe. CJ Oaks here. I'd like to talk to you about something that's far too common today. You may have heard the term gaslighting. What is gaslighting? How does it affect you? Well, gaslighting is a manipulation tactic that is used quite often in relationships, sometimes on the job. It's a technique that's used to try to gain more power and control over individuals. And sometimes people know they're doing it, sometimes they don't. But the steps that are employed, the tactics that are used, are pretty much the same across the board. Now, not every gaslighter uses the same exact techniques or the same ones, but there are 11 specific techniques that they all use to some degree or another. And they're very effective because they undermine this self-identity of the person they are gaslighting. They undermine the other person's self-worth, and more importantly, they allow the gaslighter to gain control or undue influence over their lives. That's what the goal is. Now, it's been common throughout history for people to use these techniques, sometimes knowingly, sometimes not so much. It's very common for abusers in relationships to do it, even dictators. If you meet someone who is truly narcissistic, uh, they will use it, and of course, cult leaders have done so as well. Most notably, you may remember Jim Jones back in the 70s. He used these very techniques to control a population, and then when things fell apart for him, he gave them Kool-Aid, and they drank, and he killed hundreds. So, how do gaslighters do this? Well, the first thing they do is, you gotta understand, gaslighters are habitual liars. They are blatant lies. They will look you straight in the eye and tell you something they know is completely false. And you'll believe them because they are so, what's the word for it? They are so certain of themselves, or they seem so confident that what they were saying is correct. Now, they don't start out telling you big lies, because a big lie will, get them caught up quickly. They tell small lies, little things that are inconsequential, that really there's no need to lie about anyway. They tell these little tiny lies, and just like the tiny threads of a rope, one by one, they add up to be a strong power in your life and in your relationship. When you do catch them in a lie, one of the things a gaslighter will do is they will deny that they said that. Or they'll say, no, no, you misunderstood. You heard them wrong. And they will backtrack on what they said, or they'll make up a new lie, something else that doesn't quite fit with reality, but fits their reality. They'll even sometimes say they never said that. Oh, no, no. Something else that they'll do is they will attack something that is near and dear to you, something that you're close to. So it could be your children, could be your pet, could be anything. Whatever is important to your own self-identity, they'll attack that, and they'll say, you're not a good pet owner, you're not a good parent. They'll degrade any traits that you've exhibited, and they'll make you feel as though you are not good at what you do, at the relationship you have. What they're trying to do here is tear down your identity. They do this slowly over time. It's not an immediate thing. It's a little by little sort of thing that they do. And so you don't really notice that it's happening. You may not notice it immediately anyway. Not over time, you may start to notice it, and it may start to register, but by then you may be so unsure of yourself that you don't really know what's right and what's wrong. And this creates a problem, which they then use, because one of the things they're going to do is they're going to also try to align people against you. They're going to try to come between the other relationships in your life, people that are close to you. They're going to say little things to try to drive a wedge between you and those you know and love and trust. Could be your parents, could be a close friend, could be a mentor, could be brother, sister, whatever. They're going to do everything they can to separate you from others. And they do this because they know that if you trust others, then they are not going to have the power over you that they want. At the same time, they're going to build themselves up as being the only legitimate source for facts and truth. So that the goal here is to try to get you to question your own judgment and to rely entirely on them. Now, they also are going to project their own weaknesses on you. We've all heard the story of the habitual cheater who accuses his or her husband of cheating when in fact they are the ones who are out philandering. We also hear of drug abusers who are constantly talking about other people or may accuse you of doing drugs when in fact it is they who are the abuser. Now, part of the reason they do this is because they know that creating confusion, gaslighters know that creating confusion weakens other people. Now, they may not consciously know this, but on some level they do know, because it's a manipulation tactic that many of them picked up and learned when they were very young. So some of them may not even be totally aware that they're doing it, but they are, and that does not excuse the behavior. It simply explains it, explains where it comes from. Remember, there's a difference between knowing where a behavior came from and excusing it. It's easy to know, like for instance these days, we quite often understand how serial killers are formed. We understand the psychology behind what takes place and how people develop the killer mindset. It doesn't excuse the behavior when they do carry it out. They are going to receive punishment because they are aware that their behavior is wrong. But it does explain where it came from. Gaslighting is no different. People that use gaslighting on other people, what they're trying to do is they're trying to destroy the psyche. They're trying to destroy the emotional balance of another person so that they can control and manipulate them. And on some level, even if they don't know how it began or they don't know why, and it did begin when they were younger, it doesn't matter. On some level, they know that what they are doing is wrong. And they know this, and so what they do is they will oftentimes throw in some positive reinforcement. They will, after cutting you down, they'll say, well, you did very well at this, and they'll praise you for something else, and they'll try to make you feel a little bit better so that they come off sounding like they're really on your side, when in fact they are not. Now, one of the other things that they're going to do is they will oftentimes tell other people that there's something wrong with you, that you're crazy. Okay? If it gets back to you that they are questioning your sanity, and that somebody does all these things to you, they build you up and then tear you down, they deny things that you know clearly they are involved in or you suspect they're involved in, it's a very good chance that they're using gaslighting on you. Now, another thing that they're going to do is they're going to tell you that everyone is lying to you. Everyone you've ever known, everyone you've ever trusted is lying to you. This is a very clear sign that someone is using gaslighting. If you know them to be a liar and they tell you that everyone else is lying to you, if they've proven to you time and again that they cannot tell the truth in even simple, little things, don't believe them when they say other people are lying to you. That is part of their game. That is part of their tactic to try to manipulate and control you. Just remember, gaslighters, whether they know they're doing this or not, they are responsible for their actions. If you're in a relationship with someone who is using gaslighting on you, you only have two options. You can either try to get them to seek professional help, and if they're willing, then give it a shot. Chances are it won't do any good, but it may. If they're not willing to seek professional help, leave the relationship. Get out. Because little by little, they are going to destroy you. It's that simple. Now, if you are in a relationship like this, I want you to do something right now. Breathe deep. In and out. Do it again. And out. Think about your situation. Talk to a professional. Call somebody. Call someone you trust. Explain to them what you think is going on. And then take the necessary steps, if you must, to either get out of the relationship or make it work. But don't do anything, because if you do nothing, the gaslighter will win, and they will, in the end, destroy you. This has been CJ Oaks. Just remember, be well, be wise, and be you.